Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, well, welcome everybody. Our next item is items of interest, recognition, and inquiry. Does the Board of Education have anything this evening? No? Okay, Mrs. Cybula?
Yes, I'd like to take a moment to thank everyone within our community and our educational family for supporting Bell River Elementary after they lost their teacher, Michelle Drum, in a car accident on March 6th. The outpouring of love and support made this tragedy easier for everybody at Bell River and within East China School District. So thank you.
Thank you. Okay, academic spotlight this evening is Gearing Elementary.
All right. Good evening, Superintendent Cybula, President Frank, members of the board. Thank you for the opportunity allowing us to spotlight one of the many great things that we have going on at Gearing. It was easy to pick when it came to seeing the passion that Mrs. Kelly Robbins has for technology, for her class. She's excited to be a part of it and to bring 3D printing to Gearing, and the kids love it. So there wasn't much for me to do. All she did, it says, will you buy me some plastic so we can make some things, and we made that happen. And ironically enough, it was about maybe a month ago, I was watching the news, and there was a whole entire house that was built strictly from 3D printing. I don't know if anyone else caught that or saw that, but I thought that was interesting. And I just love the fact that, as early as, fourth grade, kids are starting to get some of that experience. So it's a great program. She does a great job, and they're magnificent as well. And I'm going to pass it over to her and let her tell you all about it.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Zimmer, and hello to everyone. He gave me the floor to talk, and then he emails me today and says, you only have 10 minutes, Kelly. And I was like, oh no, because he is right. This is near and dear to my heart. It was 5 years ago that I was asked to pilot the elementary technology program. And so that was like, yay, I finally, after I put it on my transfer list for many years before that I wanted to teach technology in elementary. Because there is just so much to do. And in May of 2019, the Michigan State passed the Michigan Computer Science Standards. And so that gave us a platform to have standards to teach in the technology class. So it's based on those. So we cover many things with digital citizenship, computing systems, algorithms and programming, data analysis, keyboarding, and of course the subject that I'm here to talk about tonight, which is 3D printing. So we are lucky enough to have a 3D printer at each of the elementaries and in the 5th grade wing at St. Clair Middle School to use with technology class, because when I start printing, they usually take anywhere from 30 to 50 minutes to print. So when I'm in the cycle of like printing 5th grade ones, it takes me 24 days of printing to print all of the kids' projects out. Wow. So it's like that little printer at each of the buildings runs constantly, which is really neat to have them at all the buildings. It is a 3-step process. The kids have to design the project in Tinkercad, and then they have to export it as an STL file, and then they import it into Flashpoint, which then we slice it, and then we take the new GX file and we put it into the printer. So for many people, they'll come, oh, can you just print me out one of those? I'm like, oh, it's just not that easy. It's just printing them out one of those. There are multiple steps, and we have to have another computer and software to do it. But the kids do a great job. They've learned how to use Tinkercad, and I'm really proud to say the projects that they designed, they did on their own. I did not touch any of it until the end part, watching the printer print them out. But they did all that by themselves. We use the program called Tinkercad, and they bring the letters in, they have to do the depth and the shape and the width of them, whether they make holes in them or not holes in them. The 5th grade project, there's the Gecko, which are articulated so that it actually moves and has hinges in it. So it really does get quite complex with the things. And then we have slicing software that slices it. And the kids have watched videos and talk about how it's made with all the different slices. And even the youngest kindergarten and first grade watch the other kids' projects be printed. So they'll be like, what are you printing? What are you printing? And it does it slice by slice. So it's a really neat process that everyone really gets to enjoy. Then we print it. We have monoprice voxels. They are fully enclosed, so I don't have to worry because the extruder gets to about 235 degrees, and so to melt the filament that goes into it. And there's just a couple of the colors. Mr. Zimmer bought us 5 different colors this year, so everybody got to pick what color. You notice from the projects that the kids do. I think they picked green and blue and red, and I might even have an orange one in there, and I have a yellow. So they got all the colors of the filament, which was really nice that they can make it their own by picking the different colors. We start in 2nd grade. So in 2nd grade, I read this book called Beauty and the Beak, and if you've never seen it before, it's a great story about a bald eagle that loses his beak, and they make one on a 3D printer so that it can live, you know, not out in the wild anymore, but in captivity and drink and chew its food and things like that. So we start there, and each of the 2nd graders get a mascot keychain depending on what school they go to. We have the fish for Pine River, the polar bear for Palms, the sailboat for Bell, and the gator for Gearing. And so we start in 2nd grade with the process. 3rd graders, they make a simple coin. Up at the top, they have a choice, or a bookmark that they can make. So basic skills that we're starting to get ready for the 4th grade project. In 4th grade, it becomes a little bit more complex because they're nudging the letters. They have to make sure they're all connected to each other, and they have different depths of them to see. So it's a little bit more complex with Tinkercad through that. So just building on the skills each grade level. And there's some students with their keychains on their backpacks. That's usually the first place that I see them. And then I was in St. Clair Middle School at the office, and one of the kids that was in 8th grade is like, I still have my keychain. And so it's nice to see that. A lot of them, we do it usually in December, so there are some that are made for gifts for their mom, so we print out mom, or their mom's name or something. They have a choice on what they want to have printed out and design. And then 5th grade is the most complex, because that's where I stop at 5th grade. And so they can make the articulated animals, or they have a choice of the dice. And the dice is quite the challenge because of they have to inset the letters into, or the numbers into each one of them. So the challenge that I gave was to our students, well actually all the 4th grade students could have a challenge, and it was to design something for the school board so you could have your own keychain. Oh my gosh. And so they were all on their own, and they did like a super job. I mean, when you see them, I think you'll be like, wow. And so then these 9, well, not all of them were able to come tonight, but there were 9 students that were picked to share their project and have it printed for you. So I'm gonna start, and they're gonna tell you their name, what they made, and then who they're gonna give it to, okay?
Aww.
Hi, my name is Wyatt Koss, and I made this boat that has ECSD on it.
And who's it for?
Todd DeSorath.
There you go.
All right.
So we can see you over there.
My name is Liliana Burnham. I made this keychain that says East China Board, and I'm giving it to Jessica Becker. My name is Jacob Campos, and I made a keychain that says East China, and I am giving it to Michael Westrick.
My name is Liam Gleason, and I made a keychain that said Superintendent, and I'm giving my keychain to Mrs. Saibula.
My name is Delia Dietlin, and I made a keychain that says East China for Karen Cedar.
Brianna Wood, and I made a heart with EC for East China, and I made it for Pat Bebuck.
Thank you so much. That means so much. I appreciate that.
All right, our absent students, but I still want to recognize them. Jenna Quails, who made a design for Mrs. Dawn Demick.
Thank you.
Gavin Wilsman, who his project was for Ronald Miller. Thank you. And for President Frank, Quinn O'Grady really wanted to be here, but unfortunately he had to be in Hawaii. Yes. So, but he had your name, and hopefully I'm sure you'll like his gift as well.
Thank you so much. This is so cool.
Well, yeah, that's our presentation. Do you have any questions for?
The kids, if you want to ask them.
I want
or-
to come to your class. I want to see all this. This is
It
so
is, 'cause,
cool.
you know, I didn't even show him, because he's new this year with us, and so I didn't even show him the robots or anything yet that I have still in my room. So every
This
day
is
I'm like, "Cool,
awesome.
come in and see what we're doing."
Yeah, for sure.
I'd love to.
Good job, guys. Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. That's a great job.
Oh, that is so cool. I'm just so interested in how it's all done. You know, I mean, it's, yeah. Wow, this is going on my key ring. That is amazing.
Okay, the next item on our agenda is our consent agenda. A motion is needed for the approval of minutes from the regular Board of Education meeting from February 26th and the approval of payment of bills, financial statement, and schedule of investments.
So moved.
Are there any comments or questions? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. And we'll give everybody a couple minutes if you want to scoot out of here before we continue. Okay, so next up on the agenda is our department reports. You want to lead us off?
Sure.
Mrs. Dimick, and whoever has something to share with us this evening?
Good evening. I just wanted to let everyone know we're going to do one final blast for kindergarten Young Fives registration on Wednesday, April 17th from 4 to 6 here in the Innovation Center. So anyone knows anyone that's going to be ready for kindergarten or Young Fives, please come out on April 17th and we will get all that enrollment done for you at that time. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you.
Good evening. I wanted to provide an update about summer school for this coming summer. So we are just starting our planning process, but I wanted to announce the dates. So for the high school, grades 9 through 12, we'll offer it from June 24th through August 9th. And that'll be here at the Innovation Center. For grades K through 6, we'll have a STEAM camp again this year. That'll run from June 24th to the 28th. And that will be on this campus. And then we will also on July 1st to August 2nd be running our at-risk K through 6 summer program, which will be invitations sent out by the building. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. I just wanted to share that we're going to be offering, our department is going to offer the crisis prevention refresher training for all the staff members in the district, teachers and parapros. We're offering that on April 4th. And March is Social Work Awareness Month, and I'd like to recognize our social workers for the district. starting with Chris Neal, Caitlin Click, Dana Down, Jackie Franklin, Rebecca Jones, Kelly Parkinson, Shelley Smith, Mara McCartan, and Stephanie Neiman, and we're very appreciative for all that they do for our district. They are in all the buildings, and they do a phenomenal job. We're in times where students are in need a lot, and we're glad that we have them and we have their support throughout the district. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
From operations, just want to let you know that rooftop unit replacements for the gyms at Bell and Pine River are on schedule to start over spring break.
Thank you.
Hi. For food service, I just wanted to mention that I'm currently working on the spend down plan for the food service, which is a requirement for the MDE. And some big projects I have going on is looking to replace the dishwasher at St. Clair Middle School, replace the walk-in cooler and freezer at St. Clair High School, and also do an update remodel to the serving area at St. Clair High School.
Great, thank you.
I have no update, but I do have a question or a favor to ask. Whoever's going down south, please bring some warm weather back up.
Good evening. I'll reserve for information discussion items.
Okay, great. Thank you, everybody. Okay, next up is the committee reports and our academic update. Michael Walling.
You guys can come on up. Good evening, everybody. We are here to provide an academic update on the eStar program. With me, I'm the Innovation Center Administrator. We have Jasmine Vo, who is one of our students in the eStar program. We have Evan DeMott, and then we have Mrs. Jennifer Forgetto, who is the teacher in the program. So we are here to provide more or less an update on the features of the program, and then these three individuals are going to kind of share their perspectives. So last spring, a group of administrators, myself included, went to Byron Center High School over on the west side of the state, and we toured their campus. We focused specifically on their North Star Academy and how it, the role that it played in the district and how it suited and how it fit some of their students who were in need. And we modeled a lot of what we're doing here in the eStar program after that program. The composition of the program, we have 9th through 12th grade students. We have 12 students who are here full day. And then we have 24 students in the AM, so the 12 full day plus 12 half day AM students. And then 18 total students in the PM, the 12 full day. And then 6 additional that are just here the second half of the day. It's housed at the Innovation Center, so at the very far end of the building, the room with all the beautiful windows is where our eStar Academy is housed. And our primary goals of the program are to get students back on track to graduation. So something somewhere along the way caused them to fall off the traditional track toward graduation in terms of credits. And so that's an aspect of what we do. And then equally and really more so important than that, and you'll see in their perspective, this shines through really well, is the social emotional piece and meeting the needs of those students who for a variety of reasons need us. And so our role as educators in that space is to meet that need where they're at. All students, the goal is for them to graduate, obviously, with an ECSD diploma from their home school. So we have students from Marine City High School and students from St. Clair High School, and at the end, those students will graduate with an ECSD diploma, a 22 credit track, just like our traditional students in those home schools, and they will walk with their peers. Here are some recent pictures from We've done a variety of things with the Early Childhood Center, so we call it Starlink, and we have certain students that periodically go over to the Early Childhood Center and do different things with those students. It could be playing games, it could be interacting with them, it could be putting on a chef's hat and cooking in the kitchen. These pictures in particular were from the March's Reading Month events that we did. Our students had a chance to go over there and partner up with students and read them a book. The one thing that really was inspiring and kind of showed the commitment that these students have, they practiced reading their stories to each other in the classroom so that when they went over there, everything went well. So they're doing a great job. It's really been beneficial for the little kids, the big kids, the adults. It definitely reminds us of the fact that there's great things that are happening down at the end of the hallway in this building every day. So it's really, really exciting. Some additional features. So like I mentioned before, we have a program teacher, so that is Mrs. Forgetto. We have an MTSS paraprofessional, who is Mrs. Tricia Wiley, who's out over here. And then this year we also have math, science, and social studies push-in teachers, we call them, but they're basically support teachers that in addition to the support they get with their Edgenuity teacher, we have these certified teachers in the district that are able to more or less mentor, tutor, help, support along the way. We have a social worker, Mrs. Rebecca Jones, who comes over every single week of the school year and works with our students individually in small groups as well. And then we are in the process of establishing a community mental health partnership where they will come over and work with both small group and whole class instructional sequences that they partner up with schools in order to do. And then perhaps some of the more exciting things and things that are yet to come are some of those community partnerships. The two pictures in the middle are, we had LaFontaine Ford from St. Clair come out within the last month or so, and they came out and talked with our students about a variety of things. They talked about checking to see what the status of the battery in a car was, how to change a tire. They hooked up their computer system to the car and talked with the students about what the readings on the computer meant and how they would take that information and help to diagnose what the issue with the car was. So that was really popular. We've had some of the Navy and Army recruiters come out and talk with our students, just trying to bring in different kind of pathways or careers from the community to make connections with our students. The platform that we utilize is the Edgenuity online platform. It allows us to create a personalized learning platform for all of our students within that system. And so Mrs. Forgetto, the counselors, and myself work to establish those pathways and those plans for our students. All of our students still get individual meeting time with their high school counselors. So our counselors come over roughly once a month and meet with all of our students to talk about academic progress, any needs that they have, post-graduation, those types of things, so they're still getting that. And then the last point that I think is really important to understand is it's not just an online experience for our kids. I think a lot of times credit recovery and some of these online programs, you fall into the trap of thinking that that's all that students do, and we pride ourselves on the fact that our kids get a lot of additional opportunities to develop employability, life skills. We have conversations around that. We've done interesting projects looking at different career tracks and what that looks like for students post high school graduation. So that's just a few of the features of the eStar program. And then I wanted to turn it over to these three so they could offer their perspective, and then we'll come back together if anybody has any questions. Okay? So Mrs. Forgetto.
Hello, thank you for having us here to talk about our eStar program. I'm Jen Forgetto, the eStar coordinator. I'm also the full-day teacher in the room. Knowing this was going to be a small community setting that we had this year, Mrs. Wiley and I, from day one, wanted to make sure these kids came in and felt welcome right away, felt safe to talk about whatever they needed to talk about. So the first couple days, come around and we weren't sure. We have a new program, a new school, new administrators, new teachers. We have St. Clair, Marine City all meshing together. So we weren't sure what to expect. The first few days go by and the kids are great. They get in their routine. But by week 2, we have a few kids that still, when you go to talk to them, they're looking down at the floor like this, or you would ask them a question and it was yes, no, I don't know, or just a shoulder shrug. So we really needed to get these kids to open up a little bit more. We didn't want them eating lunch by themselves kind of thing. So we would just have more conversations with them. We would make sure that there wasn't like a buddy system, but they always had somebody that they could talk to or eat lunch with. And now those kids, fast forward 6 months, these kids now have numerous friends in the room. They're playing board games on breaks. They have somebody to eat with. I don't really notice anybody during lunch eating by themselves anymore, which is phenomenal because that always broke my heart. I hated that part. So another really good thing is, like Mr. Walling said, we have Mrs. Jones come out. She comes out every Thursday. She works with individual kids and counseling sessions, as well as doing group projects with them. And Mrs. Jones has said numerous times when she walks in our room, it feels like it is a family. So she just says you walk in there and you can just feel the love that you guys, the respect that you guys have for each other. So hearing an outsider say that was really touching. She's also commented on how the kids wouldn't be able to be where they're at socially, the emotional part of everything that they talk about personally, if they didn't feel so comfortable with each other, if they felt judged, then they would be closed off. They would not be able to do this. So these kids just strides in their social and emotional well-being there. So that's another thing. From a parent perspective, I frequently meet with parents, whether it's on the phone or in person, and I had one parent say that her son has done a 180. He absolutely has hated school since the 4th grade, whatever issues he's had. Since then, he's had attendance, behavior, and academic issues. And she said this year he comes home and he's the typical teenage boy. He still doesn't want to get into all the mushy-gushy and feelings and stuff. But she did say he comes home smiling, and every now and then he'll give her something that he's done during the school day. So that's a huge part. She thanked us. She had tears. It was really something to hear a parent noticing a difference in her kid too. Before I turn it over to these two, I just wanted to say one other thing. One of our students, we asked him, because we've noticed the maturity, his behavior, his attendance, his academic. He's really grown since September, and we asked him, what's changed with you? What is going on? And his answer was very simple, and it was that people here care. People care about him, so he feels like he can go and do these things. So I just wanted to give you a little perspective from mine and Mrs. Wiley's points, from a parent point, and from a student themselves. And now I'll let Jazz talk about how she feels about the day.
I don't have a lot to say, but okay. Hi, my name is Jasmine. I'm a senior E-Star student and graduating from St. Clair High School this June. I want to cry. No, I can't. I actually can't. No, I'm going to cry.
Do you want someone to read it for you?
Oh, Mrs. Forgetto to get it started?
Yeah, you can read it. Okay.
No big deal.
She practiced earlier, and it was phenomenal, just so everyone knows. Hi, my name is Jasmine. I am a senior E-Star student and graduating from St. Clair High School this June. Having to make up classes this year, I was unsure if I was going to be on track. Edgenuity helped me do this and provided a variety of classes. The online classes allow me to learn at my own pace while still grading you on how you did. There is no need to go outside the class. There's no need to go outside the class since it has information and resources needed. Aside from our classwork, me and my classmates all have a handful of opportunities other teachers don't have. One being the Starlink program, which involves us big kids going to see the littles. Here we read to them, interact with them, and play with them. Another opportunity we have is the space Mrs. Forgetto and Mrs. Wiley and other staff members have given us to be ourselves and lead us in activities like yoga, walks outside, kickball tournaments, therapy with Mrs. Jones, and treats. I like the treats. Did you have anything, Sandy? Okay.
My name is Evan DeMott. I am a junior from Marine City High School. I'd like to start by speaking about the classroom environment. The room in which the academy is located has the most windows of all the classrooms in the building. This allows for a great natural light, especially on a sunny day. I find that this factor makes it easier to be working on a computer all day. A light demeanor also plays a role in the environment. This leads me to my next point, the staff. As you know, Mrs. Forgetto is the leader of the classroom. She does a great job of holding a cheerful attitude through the day and any annoyances it may behold. Along with Mrs. Wiley, our classroom parapro, who interacts with students in a cheerful and sometimes playful manner, while also making sure everyone is on task and getting things done. Lastly, I'd like to speak about the incentives and freedom students can earn. If you follow the rules and do good work, you are rewarded. You even get to pick your incentives for finishing a class, such as going for walks, extra breaks, or even drawing. In my experience, this is what keeps students motivated throughout the day. Thus far, I have enjoyed being a part of the East Star Academy and the experiences it offers. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Any questions?
I've so been looking forward to this update on this Academy, East Star Academy, and I have to tell you that you guys are doing a phenomenal job.
Yeah, the kids and the staff in that room, I see it every day. It is a family. It's not people saying it's a family.
Right.
It's, you walk in there and you feel like you're important, you matter, and it's,
Well, it was very apparent to all of us here this evening. Thank you so much.
you betcha.
Anybody else?
They were very well spoken. Good job.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, our next committee report is a policy update.
It's kind of hard to follow that update with the policy update, but here we go.
Very exciting.
On, board members, on the agenda, under committee reports B, policy update, all of the policies that are listed under B1 have just minor language changes to the policies. There's nothing in there that would change the spirit of the policy, just they went through and updated dates, commas, and some spelling errors that were in there. So at your seats, you should have a listing of all the different policies. At the top, it says July 2023 Policy Service Update Summary School District Board of Policy Manual, and then it has them all listed, and it will tell you. For example, the very first one, 2303, violation of Board Code of Ethics, and the change is language added regarding criminal violations. So all of those are just minor changes that Troon is requiring us to make within our board policies. But the one I want to draw attention to is the one that is a new policy. It's policy 4228. And it is on the second page of your list. Yeah, 4228 is on the second page, about 1/3 of the way down. 4228, no expectation of privacy. This is a new policy addressing the search of person and personal property, search of desk, cabinet, and school equipment. This is a policy that we are required to adopt, and we don't have a say or a vote on it, but of course want to draw your attention to the fact that Troon is recommending and requiring us to add it to our board policies. The policy in full is in your board book, or I can provide a printed one if you would prefer it in a printed form. Are there any questions that I may answer?
Any questions?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, our next item under information and discussion items is our Bond 2020 update with AUK. And we have Lisa Bondi here this evening.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, I'm just going to give you a quick rundown on what's going on, and if you guys have any questions, let me know. I'm going to start with St. Clair, I'm still calling it St. Clair High School, St. Clair 612. We started our spring work in March, the 4th of March, so we're working over in the shop area. Do you guys know where the shop area is? It's over, there's like 5 classrooms, and we've started demoing in those rooms. We've also taken over the 2 science rooms, the one that are in the older section. And we've got 2 classrooms over where the addition is going. So those, we are doing some demo in them. Most of it's done during the day. We're not walking the hallways. We're in just an area. We've got deadbolts on the doors so that no one can go through the construction area into the classrooms or the hallways. Next week is spring break, so we're gonna have a lot done next week. We've got abatement coming in to take care of some items, and then we're gonna start saw cutting the floors so that we can start building some walls. So we'll be working in those areas. Site work has started on the addition. You're going to see some storm sewer going in this week, and then during spring break, hopefully they'll start working on the building pad and maybe foundations the middle of April. So we're moving forward there. Weather's been good. And then any questions about St. Clair? All right, I'm going to go on to Marine City. Riverview, they have put in the ceiling grid and they're installing lights. 90% of it is all painted in that Riverview area. The exterior doors are done, and they're going to start on the hollow metal doors next week. They've started on the canopy parapet installing the metal cap. I don't know if anyone's noticed that, but that's just started. And now over spring break, they're going to work on the punch list. They're going to drain the pool. We're going to take over the pool starting Monday, March 25th. And then we're going to start demoing and grinding the existing VCT areas. So I've been told you guys have done that before, so they're just going to grind it, so they'll walk on, yeah, the flooring in the corridors. They're going to remove it, they'll grind it so it's not sticky, and then people will be walking on concrete. And then we'll start putting in the new flooring when we can. All right, and Kirk already told you we're going to start at Bell River and Pine River on spring break with the rooftop units in the cafeterias. All right. Any other questions? Or any questions? Okay.
Thank you very much. Okay, next up is impact-resistant film. Dave Kennedy.
Good evening, everybody. I'm coming before you tonight to talk about the second elementary out of the 4 that we're going to purchase impact-resistant film for. Just as a reminder, we talked about Palms a couple months ago. This is a recommendation from the Michigan State Police Office of School Safety, as well as the Office of Emergency Management from here in St. Clair County. In order for us to harden the exterior of the schools, we're going to put impact-resistant film on all the exterior windows and doors. This will make it more difficult for somebody to enter the school by force. The process we're working on is trying to put all 4 schools together with the schedule for the bond renovations as well as the contractors. So I'm coming to you one at a time. That's the reason for that. And the price for Pine River, which is the school we're talking about tonight, is $15,571.14. And again, that's from Protective Films of Michigan, who's bid on all their jobs. Anybody have any questions?
Just, this is all paid again out of grant money that's
Yes.
specifically designed for safety
Yes.
improvements for
Yep.
schools.
Yep.
Great.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, and Julie Humphrey with the Chartwell's van purchases.
Hi, good evening. I'm here today to talk about the food service vans. We are recommending the replacement of the 2 food service vans that we currently use due to their aging condition, which also, that basically we're having a lot of breakdowns. We are very fortunate that the bus garage has been able to help us. Those mechanics have repaired them for us. But this is part of our spend down plan, and we're looking to purchase 2 vehicles. We received 2 bids, one from Garno Ford and the other one from LaFontaine Ford. And so I'm just seeking approval for both of those purchases.
And that approval will be this evening due to time
Oh, yes.
constraints with the vehicles.
Yes, so it's also as part of the spend down plan, and so we're required to spend so much before June 30th, and then also because it's a vehicle, you kind of can't wait.
Right.
They're available now, so either we take them or we lose them.
Sure. What happens to the 2 old ones?
We are going to utilize those with the maintenance department, so they're going to take those 2 over and use them until they die.
We'll finish them off.
Yeah. Kurt's taking them. Any questions? No?
Thank you.
Thanks, Julie. Okay, so at this time, a motion is needed for the Board of Education to go into closed session pursuant to Section 8B of the Open Meetings Act, Act 267 of 1976, board discussion connected to the discipline of a student.
So moved.
Support. Any comments or questions? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. We're now moving into closed session. When we come back, we will be going into our action items. Anybody wants to stick around?